Please at the table for better. Our live.
I can sit.
Yeah. All right, I will call the meeting to order. It is 5:25. This is the April 23rd, 2025 meeting of the Climate Smart Commission. Mr. Noble, I'm the chair, and with us we have voting commissioners, Emily Chesson, Anthony Fitzpatrick is remote, Kaya Heber, Melissa Iachetta, Jake Strauss and Cal Truman, and we also have non-voting commissioner Kevin McAvoy remote, and we have two guests, Neshka and Phil. Nice to see you both. Dan is excused. Roberto said he would be remote. I don't see him yet. So, is there any official public comment from our public guests?
I'm really only here to extend my wish to be involved in anything that this commission does. So I spoke to Melissa, still all the names. I just want to be involved, and I can't make it every single month, and that's why I'm catching up with you all now. So so my offer is, I want to be one of these people who does a lot for Climate Smart, but I can't join the board. It's the whole India thing is just throwing me further.
Well, that's all right. We would love that. Any involvement is welcome for sure. So thank you for being so thoughtful about the process. All right, are there any modifications to the agenda? All right, and we will review and approve the March meeting minutes. Kevin, I just had one note.
Okay.
The section 4F.
4F, okay.
1I guess, under city fleet, where it says the line starts clean fleet transition for Kingston Police Department and DPW were mentioned, as were renewable diesel and biodiesel possibilities.
Yeah.
We did talk about biodiesel, but I just wanted to be clear that we are not considering biodiesel as an option.
Okay, we'll put that in there.
Okay.
Okay, biodiesel is not being considered presently. Does that sound about right? Okay.
Are there any other, also in the commission members list in the beginning, Jake's name has 2 S's, not 3.
Oh, I don't know how that happened. Yikes, that's not even carried over. That's just, there might have been, I don't know. Let's not even try to troubleshoot it. Okay, we'll get rid of that S.
I don't know how accurate it's gonna be, but I was not in my apartment in Kingston last month. I was in New York City.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
all right. That I picked up from somewhere. I don't know, but okay. So we'll just would that be over in Kew Gardens,
No.
Hills? No. Manhattan.
If you,
I was at a hotel in Brooklyn.
if you look on the agenda.
I just
for
put Brooklyn. Will that work, Julie? If I just put Brooklyn?
Sure.
Okay. And Anthony, I have you down at just Port Ewan. I don't have a street address, so I'll just leave that if that's where you are.
Do you want it?
Well, I think you have to put an address for everybody. That's not
194 Doris.
194 Doris. Okay. And I was going to mention one thing about the minutes. I really loaded you guys up with a lot of information. If you don't need it, I can delete it. I thought the Roberto presentation might be, since he did do the car demonstration last month, that might be a good thing to put back in the minutes. We had looked at that previously, but some of you weren't on the board then. some of you were and are probably just going, oh, that again. So I can take it out if you don't like it. And I put the handout on goals and initiatives there without filling it in any further. Betta had questioned that this morning, and I put it in the minutes itself under organizational matters, goals and initiatives. It tells you who's doing what and, that kind of thing.
I think it's fine. All right, any other comments, questions, or changes for the minutes? Hey, if not, we need a motion to accept the March 26, 2025 minutes as amended. A motion by Cal, can we get a second? Second by Jake, any discussion? All in favor? Anyone opposed or abstaining? All right, passed unanimously, thank you, Kevin. All right, we will move on to organizational procedures, membership renewals and applications. I have communicated with Zane that his term has ended. So he has completed his term. So now we have 2 vacancies in non-voting. And Haya, I didn't get to connect with you, but just so you know, your term is technically ended. If you would like to renew, you should submit an application.
Okay.
If you would like to end your term, you can just let me know.
I'd like to renew.
Perfect.
Yeah.
You can submit your application online.
Okay.
All right. I don't have any other new membership applications or words from folks that they want to be considered for.
I have something.
Great.
So that young person that I connected with, I don't even know, a couple of months ago, his name's Connor.
Yes.
He
He came
is
to us.
alum. Oh, he came to the meeting?
Yes.
Are you kidding me? Classic. Okay. Yeah, all right. I feel so bad now because I keep writing him emails and he's not responding to me. He said he'll come next term. So, okay, I'm so glad he's been here.
Yeah.
Okay, wonderful.
But I haven't gotten an application.
Okay, he did respond to me, how I know he's coming next week, so maybe I could send him that.
Sure.
Next week, shoot
Next
for
month.
next week.
Sorry, next week.
Yeah.
I don't know what day it is.
Have
So
him
maybe
go
I'll
on
share
to
with
the
Connor.
city's website and then go to boards and commissions.
Okay, yay,
Yeah, right. Yeah.
okay.
All right.
And so, I'm sorry, Julie said there'll be 2 vacant positions.
So right now, what you see on the agenda, there are 2 voting vacancies and there's 1 non-voting vacancy for someone over 21.
Yep.
And 1 non-voting vacancy for
Yep.
someone under 21.
Okay.
And Connor's under 21, right?
I think so.
Yes, so that would be that position.
Okay. Thank you.
Then we have a couple in the queue, but I'm waiting on queues from those people to move ahead. All right, so yes, if you have other people that you feel as though are interested, certainly have them apply. There are vacancies. All right, so moving on to 2025 goals and initiatives. The way that we left it at the last meeting was that when Cal led us through this, it was who wants to figure out what it would take to make these things happen. Not make these things happen, but what does it take to make these things happen? And so I think we discussed revisiting that today to see how people did on that. And I guess before we delve into that, we should decide what level of depth we want to go into this. Do you want to do that again today, or?
I can,
Okay,
sure, that's cool. Okay, great. I didn't write down who had what, so.
I have
if you
the code.
Okay, great. Oh, and then you went? Okay, take a new copy.
No, it's,
Oh, it's in the minutes.
but if you
But
can decipher code.
All right. So, the first benchmarking and performance standards, I think it was just Betta working on that, so, skip that for now, right?
I have cat also.
Cap.
Yeah, I didn't get there so far.
Okay. Do you have anything you want to
This
share?
does not have who's doing it, but it does have whatever.
Not right now,
Okay,
but would be happy to think about it again. I mainly rewrote the webpage over the past.
Wow.
Oh.
So that was my contribution.
cool.
Great.
Okay, so benchmarking performance standard, we'll hear about later. Solar readiness, was me, and they had so many that I just took solar readiness. The goal as described is to require the installation of solar PV on new construction. My sense of what steps that would take would be doing some research on similar policies and possibly contacting other municipalities who have done things like that. Consider implementing a solar ready requirement before us, like a solar on the building requirement as like an intermediate step. You know, like any building with a south facing roof needs to have it be accessible for solar or things like that. Those policies exist, so that would also be something to research.
Recording in progress. Oh, sorry.
Your turn for sound.
Okay, you did it?
Yeah.
Okay. I think it would be worth investigating whether other places have tried offering incentives to meet a more stringent building type. It's essentially building code stuff. So like where incentives have worked versus requirements, if those things exist. So those would be 3 things to research. And then proposing language to, I'm not sure, the building department, I'm not sure who, but we would then be like, here's a proposed piece of language to require or incentivize whichever level seems the most practical or the most effective for our goals.
Did you mention anything about stretch code?
I know that exists. I didn't actually look into what's in the stretch code, but it might be that implementing that would be enough. I don't know.
We have stretch code already.
That's what I thought.
So I would just add to that list of like,
Look up what already exists.
for each of these actions, what do we want to walk away with today? Do we want to walk away with people who were responsible tell us their strategy and we say, that sounds great, yes, let's add it? Or what?
The next steps and people responsible, right?
My sense would be that it might be good to go through everything, get a sense of what it would take to do each of these, and then circle back and pick a couple to work on first. And then when those have made some good progress, maybe pick a couple more. Rather than as we go through, be like, yeah, let's do that. Okay, yeah, let's also do that. Yeah, let's also do that, and have it just end up with 30 days to do that. We will not then actually
Usually get done.
Yeah.
Are people okay with that strategy?
What do we think? It's a suggestion, not a word.
Does anyone need one of these?
Yeah, I'll have one. Thanks. It's actually a big one of this, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
essentially.
Yeah,
It's a big, yeah, you all do have it in your
There's
minutes.
a lot, so.
There is a copy, there is a mini version in the minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, so then we'll circle back to you're the.
No, please, I mean, I don't have to. Okay, all right. Betta, did you, we're looking over the goals and initiatives.
Yes.
Did you come up with some steps for benchmarking performance standards?
Yes, I asked friends or colleagues who work at Rewiring America. And I'm going to contact the appropriate people at NYSERDA and some other sort of leading building decarb people who might be able to help us.
To figure out what the steps are.
Right, yeah.
Cool.
For the building performance standard. Because as far as I know, it hasn't been done in smaller cities.
I see.
I mean, at least in New York State. But I have a contact who I'm meeting with tomorrow who is based in Colorado and has a good grasp on sort of the cutting edge municipalities across the country who hopefully can help us.
Okay, great. All right, so we got one, we got two. The third is ED readiness.
Jake and Emily,
Yeah,
and you said something.
Yeah, we have a list of resources, basically. Seems like there are various things at the state level that support EV infrastructure. Kingston stretch code doesn't have anything specific about it. The one we mentioned is that like, you're not allowed to build a new gas station within 1,000 feet of an old gas station unless it's an EV charger. So it's just an exception to a prohibition rather than anything like directly supporting. But New York State has a TVIP truck voucher incentive program. I can't remember all the off the top of my head, but yeah, there's some resources in there. And we'll put together some other resources as well.
Yeah, I think maybe like, I don't know what we're at, but like the. Share. There we go. So,
Is this a list of steps?
yeah, we kind of, exactly, so we just looked at, first we just looked like what Kingston already has, got like has on EV readiness, so. I looked in the climate action plan and there's these like two things around EVs and EV readiness, and then looked at the Kingston forward zoning code, as you were saying, there's not much in there. And then we were just kind of looking at, mostly through like NYSERDA's resources of like what are opportunities for increasing EV readiness, and it seems like there's like 5 different kind of policy package doing it: zoning, parking, codes, permitting, inspection, partnerships, and procurement. So I think it sounded like we were kind of talking about codes. So we were kind of just looking into what EV codes, like how you could incorporate EV readiness into codes a little bit more. And we just looked at what the New York Stretch Code says. You said you've already adopted the New York Stretch Energy Code, okay. And yeah, there's like more to do and more research to do to see what else the city could do. So one question we have is like, is it, do we really just want to focus on codes, or are there other aspects of EV readiness the city's interested in? Because as Jake said, like there are a lot of statewide incentives and rebates available for EVs, for municipalities, for businesses. So there's like different for individuals as well. So there's different ways that, you know, could think about EV readiness, I guess, just in terms of just making it easier for vehicle electrification. So I think that was one of the questions I had, is like, do folks on codes, or are there other areas of kind of these policy levers the city might have control over that could also be good? Or do we just start with code as the first thing, and then we kind of visit other ones?
I mean, in my brain, it was code, because there are all these other options already from
Yeah.
other bigger folks that can do it well.
We also can get climate smart communities points. We do EV readiness actions, like count a lot of points,
Yeah.
so that then could lead into bigger grants for this kind of stuff, so that might be a good place to target first.
And it might be worth looking at the stretch code again, because I have one of the PDFs pulled up, and it says that a big thing for EV codes is having the electrical panel be capable of supporting the chargers, and it looks like there is a section in there, C40510.
Oh, yeah, sorry, you did pull that out.
Yes,
Okay.
New York stretch
New
code
York stretch
does
code.
have this stuff. Kingston Forward is what I was saying, doesn't have
Oh,
anything
okay.
specifically in, yeah,
Okay.
I spoke. Yeah, right there.
Were you able to connect to Adam Rubber? I didn't talk to him beforehand. I'm trying to be a little delicate with my. Do you want me to email him and ask? I'm happy to talk to him about it. I guess I just wanted to have a better understanding of what we wanted to specify.
I might just be able to, like, he's so great. Yeah, he's Adam Rutter's the NYSERDA EV person.
Yeah.
It does seem like this is maybe jumping, because we haven't decided to do it.
True, true.
Yeah.
But he could at least make some suggestions if we do decide to prioritize that one.
Isn't that right there, though, already a code that we already adopted that's already doing what we're trying to do?
I mean, this is a portion of code. I don't know if there's other things that we can do outside of this. This is what's in the stretch code, which the city's already adopted. So if this is it, then I guess we've done it. There's no more else to do. There's other things related to code. We didn't dig into it too much. We kind of just
Do
spent
you wanna go to
time.
the climate smart communities one again? Forget. And the state resources, I think.
Oh, interesting, that code is saying 5%,
Right,
But it's at least 2 spots.
right.
or at least 2 spots.
Yeah, minimum 2 spots. If it has 10 spots or more,
Next
it's
Maybe it's,
This one,
Yeah,
clean
there
energy
you go.
communities?
Yep.
I can go to the website.
specifically for installing EV chargers.
Oh, so confusing how there's like clean energy communities and the climate smart
I think
communities.
they were going to
We should really
collapse them.
consolidate, yeah.
I think they were, like,
They're not?
I don't know if they still are.
That would be great.
I don't know.
Okay, Okay, maybe it's a rumor.
Just to slip back in, it seems like you have figured out what the steps would be. So if we decide to move forward, we can narrow it down.
Yeah, and I was just also thinking as you were talking, like, if you're gonna be going through that like code and other types of like regulatory documents to look at solar, like we could probably partner up and
Sure.
if it's just as, control F.
Right.
You know, some of that is what you do, so we could, if the focus is gonna be on like a code review for solar PV and EV readiness.
Yeah.
We could probably do it jointly and do
That
it
makes sense.
more efficiently.
Yeah, that makes sense. Cool. You make these slides for this. I'm so
He
impressed.
started.
And now I'm really embarrassed.
No, he started to send them to me and I was like, these are the consultant, right? Put it in a slide and it all looks fancy.
Where's your logo? Where's your logo?
Right.
It's a branding here.
So, no, he started it and then I added to it.
PowerPoint, very specific template.
Yeah, this is a template. It's not, yeah.
And I think one of the questions for codes is like, there might be something in there so far, but like, what's the next step?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and there was like a good guide on I started website, like about EV readiness for municipalities. It's old, it's like 10 years old, so like, I don't know if there's more.
I did a bunch of research for WI on this,
Okay,
so I would be happy to participate in the codes group.
I also just, I know we're gonna wrap up on this one, but just wanna put it out there that if you go to that slide that talks about the parking and that it requires that if there's parking, there's this. The flip side of that is that we now have form-based code or zoning that doesn't require parking.
So if they are gonna have parking, then.
Right, so that could mean that this has no effect whatsoever.
Yeah.
Because we've eliminated parking to try to reduce people
Sure.
from having individual cars.
Those are both good things.
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
can I just make one suggestion? That like, if we don't already have this, and I don't remember exactly what the webpage looks like, but even having a list of, or like a link to where the EV chargers are, on the Kingston Climate Smart page. Do you have that?
No, the platform page for doing
Yeah,
cities.
because I think we talked about like, we could make the Kingston Climate Smart page have resources for people. And then they could easily see like, oh, you know, I'm an EV driver, or I'm thinking of being one, here are all the places around town, if I don't have a charger at home, I can go.
Yeah, I'll let Kat, when we get to the website page, kind of touched
That was like the one
Is
thing
that
that
one of the
got
things?
achieved for this, so.
Yay.
I didn't put that map on it, but I'm happy to, like, I did a first draft thinking that I could share it out and then like take feedback and do another.
That's so great.
I think I just searched EV charger on Google and they pop up.
There's also like Club Share, I think. has-
Yeah.
Just to, check time, it's 45 after, so we've been doing this for half an hour, we're only on the third, so let's maybe go through what the steps are, move on, and then come back and pick the ones we want to go to more depth on. I'm trying to help us get through it. So number 4 is financing mechanism. What
And
did we-
Anthony and Bada.
Yeah, what do you got, y'all?
This is like also TBD to do with the
Can we lose that?
building
Oh, yeah.
performance standard.
What is
Uh-huh.
PACE?
Property assessed clean energy. Property assessed clean energy
Yeah,
financing.
it's not that applicable for Kingston.
I've crossed that off of this row in the.
Yeah, I said,
Just
okay.
Or do you want to?
Yeah, I was gonna say, Anthony, did you have anything else for financing mechanism? 'Cause I guess,
Oh, no.
no? I'm sorry, I couldn't understand what you said.
He said no.
You said
No.
no. Okay. 5 is community gardens. Is that also anything? What do you got on community gardens?
So, but that one, there is, there's actually like quite a bit of actions on here that we are already doing. Things like, let me find it. Policies for local food systems. It looks like a lot of the work that Live Well and Grow Well did with community gardens. We could submit when it talks about submitting things, it changes to like zoning that in the past 15 years. So when I was looking through everything, there is a lot of things that we have done that have happened over the past, years that it really seems like that we could just gather up and submit.
When you say submit, you mean for climate smart points?
Yeah. It looks like it like this one policy for local food systems. How to obtain points. The government must update the local zoning ordinance or adopt new policies that incentivize, promote, or remove barriers to local food markets, creation of community gardens. There's things that I know that Grow Well has done that would probably fit in there.
So are there any steps you think we should be taking if we were going to pick this up, or do you think we don't need to pick it up at all?
Well, so what I'm saying is it looks like there's a lot that the city has done, climate smart that count. That we would just have to hand in. Like a number of community gardens that has happened in the past 15 years. I mean that is probably just like 1 point or whatever.
So I think there's the climate smart communities actions, right, that we can take in and submit to get points. And there's also other things that we haven't done yet that we want to do just for the benefit of Kingston, right?
Yeah.
So they're two separate things.
Yeah, I don't think that the point of this was points per se.
No.
It was more like, we
No.
have stated these as goals, do we want to put energy into them, and what would it take to put energy into them? But it sounds like you're saying that it isn't necessary for us to put energy into this because there's already a lot happening. But I can't tell if that's what you mean.
Yeah, so definitely for this one, like anything that is already done. Like I think we just gotta hand things in.
I don't understand what you're handing them into. Because this is about the goals of the commission, not about
For 20.
climate smart points.
Oh,
So
okay.
who would
Well,
we be handing it into?
I don't know what to tell you then.
Oh, okay.
I don't need to
Well,
do
well,
anything to that
I'm-
because
I mean, it's good to get climate smart points.
Yeah.
We can assemble those things and submit them. That's great.
Have we already claimed points for these things?
I would have to look back.
Maybe that's the next step is to figure out if we.
That sounds like a different goal though, that's not on this sheet. So I
What
guess
sounds like a different goal?
like
what do you say?
supporting the city in increasing its climate smart points.
Well, all of what we work
All of
on,
these are associated with climate smart.
right,
You can get points for.
yes.
Yeah.
But to Melissa's question, it's, have I already claimed points for community gardens? I don't know. I mean, we've,
We'd have to take a look.
I have to take a look.
it didn't look like it to me.
Cool.
Okay.
Thanks
But
for.
I think like the other point for this one was, is there anything that we can do to support the community with getting people to use community gardens more, whatever it might be?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if we think that's already covered by the other commissions, then we could just take it off the list.
Right.
Yeah, there's also information going back, I would say, to like 2008 or 2009. That Kingston Land Trust, Julie, you'll probably remember some of this. You were doing the school gardens, and Rebecca Martin was doing community gardens, and Kristen Wilson was doing Healthy Kids Kingston. But some of this may be stale dated, shall we say, if it's 15 years old, if it hasn't already been submitted.
Yes, what Kevin's point is taken on what I may have submitted for the original Climate Smart Communities certification will have been dated. But to Anthony's point, there's enough, I believe that there's probably enough that's happened since then that I can claim other people's things. If that's what we're going for, which is not the intent, but it is an added bonus.
Cool. Thanks, Anthony. Who had battery storage?
And
I did.
And Phil.
That's really-
Okay.
And Phil. Okay, not to be an old consultant, but I did this.
Oh my gosh. You're gonna put a logo on it.
This is blue instead of green.
I'm gonna pay you that.
It's the same format.
Well, he sent them first, and I was
So,
like, oh, let's read
we only say for one type?
Okay, so this was understand role of battery storage in Kingston's municipal portfolio. So the first step I identified was, first, we want to identify like the ideal use case for battery energy storage in Kingston's municipal portfolio. So like, these are just like two examples of use cases you can use batteries for. So I first want to understand what is the, ideal use case. Then from there, select a use case and then maybe prioritize one or two municipal buildings for assessment for battery energy storage, and then conduct like a high level feasibility assessment for that building. And I think it'd be great to work with you, Phil, because you have a lot of the information on building energy usage and all of that stuff. And then if we want to move forward with it, could then kind of just get a sense of technology makes sense, size, cost, what the financing options are, procurement options, and then make a recommendation to the commission or whoever is the right representative on what might make sense to incorporate battery storage into the municipal portfolio.
Yeah, one thing to note is that the state is in the process right now of like exploring what battery storage looks like safety wise. So this could be a good time to do it. And maybe when we come up with our conclusions, it coincides with them releasing a final report. But
Yeah.
at least according to the website, I think NYSERDA is the one who's tracking this study. There's still
Yes.
like a step or two away from drafting a final report. So I don't know when it's supposed to be done.
Yeah. And then these are just other things though, that like, that was more like for the municipal portfolio. But there's other things you can do related to battery storage at the municipal level. You can develop, just like you have, a lot of towns have developed solar code, like have incorporated solar into their zoning code. You can do the same thing with battery. And update your comprehensive plan. You can try to understand, okay, what the permitting process for different types of battery energy storage systems within the municipality, and like you want to streamline that. So there's the safety requirements that are being updated now. It's by the city, do trainings for the fire department. Like there are a lot of different things you can do. So these are other options, but this was just focused on what we talked about. The municipal portfolio.
Awesome.
I think. Oh, are we just doing like the steps now and then we're going to come back and make them?
And yeah, pick which one you want to start with. Okay. Awesome, thank you, Emily. Who had CCA?
Jake.
Okay.
I have reached out to our internal contacts and received from them the names of people that I need to reach out to for next steps. So that's where it is.
So figuring out what is happening now in order to be able to know what the steps would be.
Right.
That makes sense. Okay, cool.
No slide.
How do we even know what you're gonna
Bus ridership, who has bus ridership?
Anthony.
Oh, Anthony, what do you got for bus ridership? If you are there. Yep.
Think?
Yep, on bus ridership. Do you have anything for that one?
No,
Okay,
no. Oh, actually, you know what? There is it's kind of like, well, all right, so like, should we be doing anything with this? Like, probably not, but like, I mean, it's the same thing with the community gardens. Like the Live Well is like has aged well, and the primary thing that they're doing right now is helping some of the things that the Office of the Aging is doing with helping seniors like find rides. So that's another one of those things where I could just pull up some of the work that they're doing, submit it for points, and it's like just done. So that's another one of those things that's not something that we really have to do anything with because it's already being done.
Yeah, I think the question was how could we support UCAS, which was the action.
Yeah, but I mean that's like what I'm saying is that's something that the city's doing other places with other commissions.
Okay, so not necessary for Climate Smart to.
Right.
But, so, okay.
I would say also like on our Facebook, when the UCAT does like the explore, they're doing like Mohawk trips and things like that. We've highlighted on our Facebook page. I don't know what we need to do to qualify for points, but we are sharing on our socials when applicable. As we have information on our website as well.
When it says the goal is expand bus routes, where?
I want to be able to take the bus here.
So within Kingston, still within Kingston, not to connect to other.
Or for Kingstonians to go someplace else they want, but they can't currently get that bus.
Okay, so it's open. Okay, cool. I mean, I think.
It's- I was just gonna mention something. I had made comments on the recent Ulster County, the UCAT scheduling revamp. I don't know if people are aware of that. They want to mix and match lines up and maybe provide something resembling an Uber type thing that might replace some of the lines.
Or on demand.
Just saying that's a thing that's out there at the county. I don't know what the status is. I'd have to go over to Participate Ulster and get you an update on it. But I submitted comments. I don't know if the comment period's still open.
Okay.
Just wondering what P6 is,
Yeah. Oh, that we can look up. Whoops. Nope. Can't look it up.
One more concerted effort to highlight what Ulster County is doing with UCAT, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that could be happening as part of this process is, since I did say where it aligns, is whoever's working on it, if we choose, to go into that and say, okay, in order to get credit for PE6, what do we need to do? Or what have we already done? Or what could we additionally do to do that? Because yes, the things for the Climate Smart, if we want to continue to say, we're a silver Climate Smart community, we have to keep doing actual stuff. It's not just keep doing the things you're doing, we have to do additional things also.
Like for Kingston Arts Fair, we're coordinating,
Yep.
trucking in people from other parts of Kingston.
Right.
That's an example.
Yep.
I don't think we really can work on expanding bus routes and schedules. I'm saying there's other bus related things.
Yeah, the gold / description is what it says in our climate action plan.
Gotcha.
Those are the words of the climate action plan. That's not Julie being like, hey, what do I want to write here?
All right, so who had clean mobility?
Phil and Anthony.
Phil and Anthony, what do you got?
So right now, this is, I think, probably another thing where maybe it's more like we just participate, but the Clean Mobility Program has a survey up you can get to on Engage Kingston. They're asking questions about it in terms of bigger work that this group could do. I don't have anything. Okay, yes.
And which organization is Clean Mobility?
Yes, that really. There's a consultant that the city or Serta hired for the city that is doing.
Yeah, because I filled out the survey this morning.
Oh, sweet, excellent.
It's being managed through the Health and Wellness Department.
Oh, okay. I filled it out, then something weird happened. I don't know if it got received. Do you think I should fill it out again?
Yeah,
Just
please.
finish.
Yeah.
Anthony, did you have anything else on clean mobility? I saw you unmuted.
No, I don't think so.
Okay, just checking.
I still think we should be advocating for the bike share, but I just don't know where
That's part of the
It's part of the
survey.
survey. We asked you about it. if you would
Quite
participate.
extensively.
Yeah, there's a lot of like share questions.
Yeah, there's definitely one of them.
All right, number 10 was renewable diesel. Who had that?
Yes, Dan Smith and Bill.
I mean, so these things, I feel like maybe when we were dropping in these plans, it was just the work that I was doing. So with renewable diesel, I'm still just working on it for the city, trying to figure out all the background information that we need to adopt it.
And Dan is interested in helping to explore home heating.
Okay, so
Right.
Dan is doing that part.
Yep, but he's at a conference right now.
Okay. Just-
Can I just say something about that? Because like on the action plan goals are about using as transition fuel. The Climate Smart Kingston is discussing expanding that into home heating. It's like on top of it.
Actually, I will note, an asterisk to my previous comment. This number 3 column on that one that says understanding viability, that is actually a Julie write-in.
Okay.
Renewable diesel is not mentioned in our climate action.
Okay, that's what you okay.
I should probably articulate which ones are Julie write-ins and which one.
I don't
Oh,
think it's,
it doesn't say renewable, it definitely does not say renewable diesel in our climate action plan. I don't know what number 11 is, if someone wants to pull it up, but it does not say renewable diesel.
Okay.
I had heard of it until like,
4 months ago.
yeah.
Me neither.
It probably says something like,
So is
use
that,
less fossil fuels in fleet.
so is our committee interested in renewable diesel for home heating?
I think we're gonna decide whether that's something we want. to do.
Okay.
That,
And Dan is doing some research on it,
Okay.
so. Might just be premature at this point. Heat island effect, who had that?
RR, Roberto.
And we have no Roberto,
No,
so
thank you.
not today. Climate smart web presence.
Oh, that's me. I had sent Julie a draft of the rewrite of the Climate Smart Kingston page. It's really just a first draft. I would love to include some more resources and incentives on there. But maybe a next step could be just like sending it out. It's also, I'm pretty sure that on the main Kingston page, there's like an energy and sustainability piece. Climate Smart is not linked directly under that, which may mean, I don't know if if we want more traffic to that webpage and want to update it regularly, then we could link it directly under that. So that was another thought that I had. And then it also brought to my attention that we have to renew our Climate Smart silver certification sometime, I think in 2025. Is that correct?
I think it's 25.
Is it 26?
All right, well, the OG was 2014.
Yeah, and I think the most recent one was maybe 2020 or 2021.
I guess.
I would look at,
It's every 5 years.
I will look at it again but I think maybe I'll double check.
Okay.
Anyways, so I updated it with a bunch of like new resources and kind of reorganized the page a little bit. And would be happy to send it out and take feedback and then take another look at it.
So this was the steps, this was just fixing the thing.
This is just doing it,
Thank you.
Thank you.
And then the last one was building electrification protocol. Who had that?
VB and KC. VB is.
Yeah, I have reached out to a couple of knowledgeable people, so I should be able to get back to you guys next month.
Cool, all right, so we've gone through all the things. Which ones do we want to pick up to actually start putting some effort into now?
I feel like we have actionable next steps for each of it, so I'm gonna hit that one.
Okay, we'll be ready then. What other ones sound good? Sort of. I suggest that maybe we list some that sound good and then some kind of consensus on which ones we're doing. Does that sound right?
I mean, website's already,
Yeah, website is just happening.
Go.
Website is just happening.
Yes, it was just the easiest way to do it.
Yeah, instead of being like, here's the suggestions I could make.
Yeah.
So EV readiness, is pretty ready to go. I feel like the, battery storage and solar readiness are in a similar
Yeah.
Those are the three
that I feel like today's conversation, we could probably move forward.
So of those three, do we want to try and work on all three? Do we want to pick one or two? What are folks feeling like as far as how much energy they could put into helping with the steps?
It seems like there are maybe like a couple different tasks within EV readiness, and then there's also like a codes thing that's kind of overarching, that's battery storage, solar readiness, and EV readiness.
Right.
So maybe if we combine those into like review codes, that would be a clearer way to think about that. And then we could discuss whether we have other goals for any of the three.
The idea is to review codes that exist in other small municipalities in New York State or elsewhere that support these things.
Well, to review our codes, our existing codes, and then see like what other examples there are of like folks who might be doing it better, I guess.
So it's more, it's definitely just the focus more on codes and not also like encouraging EVs and EV adoption. Oh. I guess it's like, we still have the drive electric.
We the city?
Do you remember like we used to partner with the county and the county kind of took it over?
Yeah.
The county still do it?
Yeah, they did it this year in October, I want to say. It was very small. It was a small thing. Central Hudson was part of it.
There's also another sort of merge we can do here where we can link incentive and rebate resources on the website,
That'd be good, yeah.
right?
It's also timely, these three, because we are embarking on updating the comprehensive plan.
Oh, okay.
And that will probably happen in 25/26.
So good to have done the research to
Yeah.
propose language while it's getting updated.
Yes.
So if we wanted to focus on all three of those, but mostly on proposing language for the updated plan, that could be one first area to focus on. And that doesn't sound as overwhelming. It's like all of the possibilities you could think of all at once.
For the code, like, would it be, I guess, just if we're looking in the city of Kingston code, it would be the zoning building?
Yeah, I will need this broken down.
Yeah, I don't need this broken down all the.
I think it would just be zoning and building.
Okay.
Like, that's what I would say would be the most effective.
And so is the idea to review it for items that are currently there and support these priorities, or for things that are missing that should be added?
I think so.
Both.
So, yeah, so what's currently there and what's missing. And then if we have to figure out what should go in where things are missing, that's where we might want to look at what other municipalities are doing.
I feel more equipped to do that. If I'm gonna help out, I would probably want to look into what other places are doing.
What about also establishing it for the municipality itself?
What do you mean?
So
Like not like for people in Kingston, but like say like the city of Kingston, if they're going to,
for our fleet,
or like if the city of Kingston is repaving a parking lot, it needs to set up some chargers, or like if the city of
Yeah.
Kingston is re-roofing a building, they need to put in solar panels, like those kinds of things.
Internal administrative.
Yeah.
is that a comprehensive plan thing or no?
That's more of a policy, which is not code.
Right.
But I agree with Phil that should also exist.
That would be, I would be interested in, if that doesn't exist, supporting that.
Code review stuff is something I can get on.
Cool. Yeah, so I guess I'm gonna hand this back in like half a second. It sounds like the next steps will be, I know we broke it down into steps. I think we need to make it really granular, like one of those, and then people can pick up the different pieces that they're up for helping with. I'm happy to help with something, but I feel like right now it's too amorphous for me to like select what I can help with, but do folks feel positively about picking up solar readiness, EV readiness, and battery storage as areas to advise the new strategic plan as the thing that we're doing first on our 2025 goals.
Agree about that.
Yeah, I mean, it would be good to have something in building decarbonization, but,
Yeah.
I don't have anything concrete today, but,
Yeah.
we'll send a report
still
out.
do it.
Yeah, I don't
It's
think
the
these are,
largest source of greenhouse gas emissions.
I highly doubt that this will take the whole year to do.
Yeah, exactly, this seems to be like a really,
Picking something to do first doesn't mean it's the only thing.
yeah, exactly.
And I think I agree. Obviously, building those is really
and we're gonna, basically, next time, we're gonna come back to this list with these items struck from it, right? Because these three are moving on to a new phase, right? But these are not the only three goals that we're planning on supporting this year, is my understanding.
Yeah, I think we should get them moved to a point where they are progressing well on their own. And then maybe if someone else wants to pick up a different aspect, totally, that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
I just figure if we take on too many things at once, first of all, it's gonna take 2 hours every meeting.
Yeah.
And second of all, things are gonna get dropped more likely.
Yeah.
Can we just say 8 and 9 are like website, social media goals due? And that could just be done simultaneously at each meeting when we discuss the social media plans.
I hear you, but I don't feel like social media does anything to expand bus riding schedules or increase walkability and bikeability, which is what it actually says.
But they're both like public consultation
Yeah.
things happening with regards to those topics right now.
They both say support, so like if UCAT is already working on this like program Kevin talked about, then like we just want to make sure we're implementing that.
That makes
In
sense.
my opinion.
Right.
Yeah, that's.
Support could be amplified.
Cool.
So just wanna have an initiative of like supporting ongoing city sustainability initiatives through social media or something like that. That's all, that's all.
Yeah, I mean, frankly, the reality is, any of these that say support are going to happen regardless of whether we call them out right now, because sometime during the year, if Phil and I need support on these things, we're gonna be like, hey, we heard the city needs support, we'll be coming to this commission. So I would say that this exercise that we're doing today really narrows down the ones that say new initiatives, like what does this commission want to be taking on? So what I'm hearing is number 2, number 3, number 6. So as presented in the agenda, would you like those 3 to be called out, first 3 things on old business, and then everything else essentially becomes like a report out? Or I can also eliminate everything else.
Saying these three get moved down here.
They would be old business A, B, and C.
And then the things that are currently under old business are gonna be in one big block that we talk about if we need to talk about. I like that idea.
Yeah, shakes it up a little.
Yeah,
Yeah.
shortens it.
Could we have just, because I agree with what everyone was saying, that the building decarbonization is super important, like, we're not taking it on. Like, we don't have a plan yet, but like, ideally, we don't go, 5 meetings without talking about it.
I think we're gonna revisit this list next month, right?
We'll revisit it next month.
We're gonna revisit what next month?
This list, right?
Why would we?
Why would we?
Because I think that's what we're saying, is we're not gonna revisit this list until those 3 things are done,
I understand.
Or at least move along.
or moved along.
I understand.
So I'm just saying, just so we don't, I'm not saying, trying to say, I think the building decarbonization things in here are important. And like if you're not working on the other things, then you could use some time to kind of start outlining a plan for what you might be able to do.
Yeah.
That sounds
Just because better than
So
the slides.
it should
Yeah.
It should still be on the agenda.
It's just so we have to judge.
I mean, maybe like, not next month, but maybe June or
That
July.
sounds.
Yeah, like maybe we just put it like
A
a
check-in.
a
about
check-in on
and
it, so
then
we don't lose
Certainly.
sight of it.
By July, I'll have more time.
Okay.
Can I also suggest just having the climate smart web presence added to the
Oh, yeah.
determine social media posting / any updates to the web presence?
So, before we move on, are these going to be subcommittees? Solar, EV, and battery subcommittees? Or are we going to come, maybe the people who took the lead on it this time can come back next month with a fully developed slide deck?
Oh, yeah, okay.
It might not be a slide deck, it might be some other form of electronic.
Propose that we just have instead a subcommittee for goals and initiatives, because it seems like we're combining a few of these things.
It's, I think the code review is going to just be on.
Right.
Yeah.
I think so.
Okay, so does anyone want to be on that subcommittee, or is that collectively the group?
Do it.
I can help.
Dude,
Okay,
So that's some big stuff.
We all take a.
Jake raised his hand.
I did.
I also.
So it is just all those stuff.
I think it's.
Oh,
I just said it's all.
Okay, Jake, Emily, Kaya, Phil, Cal.
so what will happen between now and the next meeting?
Okay, I can look into the code and pull out everything that's related to any three of these things, and then also try to do things, try to find the negative space there, like what is not in there but should be.
That's big.
I can definitely do the first part of that.
Okay, cool. Well, then maybe it's the
Yeah,
first
the
step.
first part, and then maybe the
First
second
part.
part can be the collective.
Great,
If you send that out to the group, then.
we can talk about it.
Yeah, that'll be a plan we can
Done.
do for. Okay, great.
Did you get Kat? She wants to.
Al, Jake, Phil, Kat, Haya, Emily.
Yeah.
All right, good job, people. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, moving on. Refrigerant management program, the request for bidders is out. I've gotten a pretty good sized response from respondents. I thought it would maybe just be one, but it has been more than one. Multiple firms have indicated that they're interested in bidding. Questions are due by tomorrow, so the way that it works is that anyone can have submitted questions. I don't answer them directly. I will take all questions and then respond collectively to anyone who is intending to bid. The bids are due May 5th or 6th. And this will be for a May 6th refrigerant management consultant. Is there anyone here that would like to be part of the team that reviews the bids?
What does that look like?
That looks like me emailing you 3 to 6 proposals from refrigerant management consultants with a matrix of criteria of based on their experience, give them a score of 1 to 5, based on their ability to perform the work that we're asking them to do, give them a score of 1 to 5. Their cost effectiveness, 1 to 5. You filling out a score sheet, us meeting collectively for an hour and a half and saying, I like so-and-so, no, I like so-and-so. And then us coming down to a response and then detailing the mayor, we would like to choose so-and-so.
Okay, I'd like to be on that, but I can't do both, so I think you have to put me off the other committee
Okay,
and put me on.
that process is going to happen between May 6th and May 20th. That's all.
That's fun. I want to do that.
Okay, let me check.
Was that somebody
Me.
talking? What'd you say? You want to do that?
I want to do that. That sounds fun.
Okay, so, great.
May 6th to May 20th. Yeah, that's a terrible time for me.
So yes?
I can do, yes,
Perfect.
yes.
Are you sure you don't have to?
Yes,
Okay.
Great. All right, and Phil, great, perfect. All right, I will let you know the next one how that went.
Okay.
Repair Cafe?
It's happening.
Yes.
Saturday,
This
Saturday?
yes.
Yes.
Oh,
11:30.
Sorry. I'm very excited. I love good.
Good.
You want to talk?
Yes, it is at Lutheran Redeemer Church this Saturday from 11 to 3. We'll have a bunch of repair coaches there. The last one we had 90 some odd people, right? And 150 some odd items repaired. So the word is out. People know about it.
What is the average amount of time that someone comes through the door and leaves out the door?
That's a very good question.
Varies by category. Electric mechanical is our most popular category, and depending on those fixes, there could be like a 40-minute wait for those items.
I would say average is about like 20 or 25 minutes.
Wood, for example, not as popular, not a long wait, could go faster. We are very low on sewists this cafe. If anybody knows anybody who can sew, a bunch of people canceled this week, so we really need sewists. Could be hand sewing, could be sewing machine
They
person.
get pizza.
Yes, and they get pizza. And then also a note, our welder is gonna be back after a winter hiatus. He does his repairs outside. And also bike, the bike program from the YMCA will work again as well.
That'd be cool.
So bike tune-ups and brake
What day is that?
maintenance
Sorry.
It is
this Saturday.
Oh, it's a Saturday.
Yeah.
Do you know
Um,
if, the
yeah.
woman who owns La Pre Amor, does she know about you guys? She is like loves sewist
I
people
don't
that do
think so.
things.
Do you have a contact with her?
I do, have her
We would
email.
love to email her.
Yeah,
and be like,
she might have some folks, and then also, I don't know if Yarn Farm, I don't have their contact information, but just because it's like
Yeah.
knitting, maybe they have people. so.
And a new fabric place just opened up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
There was?
To replace Joanne's.
Cause Joanne.
Where is that?
it's on Ulster,
It's
right?
also Avenue right past Salvation Army on the right.
What's it
And
name?
it's used fabric.
Big Ray Ray wants that.
Used fabric. What's it called?
That's
Great.
What do you say? Love, pray, and love?
I've never heard of
It has
it.
a name.
Something,
Okay,
it's
level.
alliteration.
It's, am I getting it right? It's on, what's the, I'm naming the street, but, it's on a Beale, it's on a Beale. Like where Department of Things opened, kind of, like a tattoo shop that opened, like right by
Oh, yeah,
Armadillo.
the lady
Yeah,
who's,
yeah.
she redoes.
Yeah, it's all like
Shirts.
recycled.
That's what it's around.
Wait, what's it called,
Great.
Julie? Frugal?
Frugal fabrics.
You're saying that they're using,
Repurposed fabric, yarn, sewing supplies, and lessons from experienced sewists, knitters, and
I'm
crocheters.
sorry, Maison Après, that's what it's called.
Okay, there's two
I
different.
got it
places.
completely wrong.
Where do you go, people?
She's also a fashion designer.
No, but I like Google fabric.
All right, moving on.
Oh,
Everybody got the
One
information?
more thing, also MHET's gonna be, tabling at this cafe for Earth Month. And they're gonna help sign people up to community solar and give other information.
Okay. Oh, man, today's Administrative Professionals Day. Forgot to thank our administrative professional.
Damn it, I didn't
Do it
get it.
tomorrow.
I didn't do it tomorrow. Every day.
Every day. It's Earth Day / administrative. All right, moving on, environmental education programming. I don't have anything.
Took a bunch of high schoolers out to Sojourner Truth State Park, look at geology.
Oh,
The last class that we're going out with is this Friday. Cool. Yes,
Nice.
it's really fun. It's great.
Did it rock?
Wow. That's it.
I actually. Oh, that's.
Well, actually, one, sorry, no,
No, you go.
I was looking at point two here, so maybe.
Oh, yeah, also, last month in March, I went to the after-school, roundup program, and I did the solar car
Oh, you did?
design challenge and the Public Sun
Oh.
presentations with the after-school program there. It was a really great group of
Oh.
kids and a really great program, and Andrew, the guy, he's
Yeah.
very nice.
Oh, I
So-
saw that you connected.
Did that, yeah, it was fun, and he said like, come back whenever, talk
Okay.
about whatever.
Did you
It's
do
hard to
solar
keep-
paper?
What? No, I didn't do that.
Okay.
Yeah, we had to like, at NYCP, do some
Yeah.
grant stuff, so, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and was point two the Earth Fair?
No, point two is the workforce opportunities. One thing, there's a flyer hanging at the park, they're looking for park rangers.
Oh,
summer park ranger?
Yeah,
Oh, it's Sojourner Truth?
yeah.
What is the park?
Oh, that's.
I think it's probably just like a docent just walking around and checking in with people. Actually,
Some of them
just
are
like
also
picking up
kind
garbage and
of,
stuff.
yeah, some of them are also like sort of.
I don't think this was like very like low level.
Okay.
Like, it would be a scenic visit point.
It's like a water ground instead
So it
of
would
a
be
real
a-
ground.
But it's a state park.
So you should say, that's right.
So that's why I wonder if it's more, because I know the national parks, their rangers are like,
Yeah.
Oh,
Part-
legit?
and security.
I hope they're not hiring them with it was just like a photocopied piece of paper.
That's so funny. Do you want to run?
Hey, high schoolers?
Okay, well, we need more information than that, Phil, you're on it.
Yep.
Anyone else have other workforce ops or green jobs? Earth Fair, if you haven't gotten your posters yet, you need to take them, and so do you need to take these guys, because we need to put it out, and them sitting in my office is doing nothing. Please take them.
Are all of them assigned to locations?
You should assume at this point, if they're sitting here, it's a free-for-all.
Okay.
So
They
there's,
have to just
there's
go out.
there's a master Excel with locations.
There is.
It is copied from last year, so people's names, if you didn't get, if you weren't following an email thread, just a note about Earth Fair. Oh, it's okay. Just a note about Earth Fair, there's duly copied over the Excel from last year. It had everyone's names in it, and we emailed and asked people to take your name out if you're not gonna be doing that this year. I know Roberto's name is like all over that, so we really need to know if he's gonna be doing those locations.
I think he's probably not.
Yeah.
I think we should just take him off. Cal, you're on one thing. I actually think I put you on Blackbird info.
I was like, that's what I was gonna do, I was like, can I take a flyer for Blackbird? Yeah.
Yeah, because last year yeah, anyways, I told you about it. And then you're also down for El Mercadito. I like butchered that name.
Not a quick list, so I don't remember that.
I didn't put you down there though for that. And then Anthony's down for a few things. Brad said he put his name, he did a bunch this morning and highlighted what he did, but his name's still down for other things. Highlight your name's on there, so by this Sunday, like if anyone doesn't distribute or do it, I plan to just go around and do what's left.
Right,
But
we're doing this out at this point.
Yeah.
I did mine, but I'll take some extras and just put them up around the stockade.
There's,
Yeah.
and
You could take the name.
Put it on the fridge, on the fridge.
put them anywhere. Literally, this is a waste of money for them to be sitting.
And also, me and Emily really put our hearts into this advertising and getting these things.
Yeah.
The city.
Do we have lawn
insurance-
signs?
should make entrance units.
They're on their way, the city staff is gonna do it.
The spot is that.
I just walk up and down.
You do.
Yeah, I mean, frankly,
Oh, and Julie, and Melissa, I did hear back from Alex from Kingston Wire. They do plan to exhibit and they will bring their goats.
Oh, yeah.
Alright.
there's also
Yeah.
Spanish and pre-K collection, which we really need to push.
Cool.
Yes, and by the way, if by like next Monday, these aren't all gone, that means that next week Phil is spending time counting the payment, what these all
Sounds
are.
great.
I'm really.
It's a good day.
Just get to go walk.
Sorry, emails,
To do that,
walking
that's
around.
awesome. Julie, should I take Cicely off of here?
Yes,
And what about Carrie Wyckoff?
no, Carrie Wyckoff is aware.
She's aware.
I don't know that she's,
Who's Jean Edwards?
she's
a common council.
taken off.
Taken off.
Are you doing that right now?
Yep. Anthony, are you still okay with the ones that are on this Excel for you to do? I'm calling people out right now.
You should.
Do you mind, can you, are you on the Zoom?
Yep.
Can you share the Excel?
Yep.
Just so we can look at it.
Yep.
Julie.
Doing it.
I gave a few to somebody, I guess New Pulse is having an Earth Fair this weekend.
Oh,
I gave a bunch to a guy who's gonna be exhibiting there, so he's gonna show them off. A bunch of the little flyers.
Emily Flynn.
Emily Flynn is a colleague of ours. What does it say?
Her name is on for Adams.
oh man, I was just there. Ugh, I'm done.
Take
Okay,
her off.
yep, we're gonna go through this right now. First Capital Poke, can anyone go there?
Yeah, I can.
Which one? Oh, first.
25 Main, I don't even know what that
I
is.
don't know what that is either.
44 Main, oh, these are Roberto's properties. That doesn't mean anything, we're not doing that. Roberto's not even in this part of the state right now. Adams. Nobody. Anthony, are you going to the schools? You said you were going to the schools, are you there?
Yes.
Are you able to do that?
Fuck, yes. What, why are they outside? Hold on.
I can take Ensign, because I have to drop my daughter off there, so.
Great, we'll get back to Anthony.
Do it.
Ashokan Center, that's in the middle of nowhere. Aunt Jen's. No one has a connection there.
And Jen's? Yeah, I have a connection there.
Great.
Last time
So,
you said, don't put my name in anything because I want to do it.
I know, but
okay, if you
I
are,
think I did.
Actually, I said that.
your name,
Oh, you said, okay, sorry.
I think I did do some flying.
if your name's being written down, make sure you're writing it down where you're going. Bank of America, Roberto.
I have a different daycare we could put on that I do drop my other daughter off
Great.
at. And Kingston
Sorry, Danny, you just
YMCA.
put it in there.
We're
Well, I
on
think
there,
I-
people, hold on. We're doing this methodically.
Okay.
Bank of America, anyone? No. Blackbird Info Shop, Cal. Boys and Girls Club. Nobody. Broadway
Sure, I'll do
Club,
it.
what?
I'll do Boys and Girls Club.
Okay, so the default is you on all these, by the way.
That makes sense.
Broadway, on your budget.
I could actually do boys and girls.
Oh, you can?
Easily, yeah.
Good. Broadway Bubble, Carrie Wyckoff, we're keeping that on there. Broadway Lights Diner,
I can do that.
Camp Kingston's already Carrie. Casa Villa, I was literally there last night. Center for Creative Education's already taken. Chicory Naturalist happened already today. City Hall's done. Clearwater Barn, Steve Stan's already done. Coldwell Banker, Calendarin's not around anymore. Cornell Cooperative Extension,
Is that the one in Kingston Plaza?
yes.
Oh, wait, which one did you say was done?
I go there all the time.
Who does?
I-
Nashka, you're going to
Nash-
Cornell Cooperative Extension? Co-work Kingston? Nobody. Dallas on Broadway.
Jake said co-work?
Yeah, I can do it.
Broadway, Dallas. Phil will get that one. It's across the street. Blah, blah, blah. Dallas and Lake Katrine. El Mercadito. Cal, you're on there for that.
I can.
I've never been there.
Yeah, all right.
I go there
I think
all
it's
the time.
Phil, he
because
goes around.
we had the Spanish flyers and we're assuming
Oh, Cal.
you would take some Spanish flyers, but that we should.
You're a
not-
resident default.
Spanish speaker. Yeah, we should not have said that.
No pressure. All right, Energy Square, Anthony, yes?
Yes.
All right, Family Woodstock, Melissa Ichetta.
Yes.
What? Fruition Chocolates, that's the middle of nowhere. Garden Cafe, I have no idea where that is.
Woodstock,
That's in Woodstock.
It's
Is that close?
It's in Woodstock.
is it?
but I'm not that.
It's still.
Oh, yeah,
It would be
Oh,
nice
yeah,
if
that's
somebody could go to
I'm
Woodstock.
thinking of Rosedale.
Yeah, Sunflower.
Garden House was closed.
Pulse, yeah, New Pulse and Rose.
House is closed. The heat closed?
Yeah, no, we went on vacation.
My God.
Half Moon Cafe, we'll keep that on Brad. Hannaford,
Half Moon Cafe I can do, because that's in my neighborhood.
Hanford. Maritime Museum,
I can do that. We do that as well.
Hurley Library. Kingston Candy Bar, we'll keep Brad. Kingston Standard,
I can do that,
great. Who was that? Emily?
Emily. We go there a lot.
La
I
Michoacana.
can do Lemon Chilcana. Those were all ones that I recommended.
Mariners,
Cool.
Brad's on here for that.
Mariners, okay.
You want to take that?
Yeah, we walked by it.
Midtown.
It's on.
No
Chester.
problem with Mariners.
Meat Market,
Almost
Callie, you're there for the
30,
meat market?
You know,
I did not put my
Get
name
you the
there.
Spanish.
Joe, I was gonna stay in Long Beach twice, I'm literally in there 2 times.
And they're never open, so.
They're never in our meeting.
Mother Earth's, nobody,
I'm there all the time.
perfect.
Unfortunately.
Office of the Aging. Oh, Parks and Rec upstairs, I did already. Peace Park, that shouldn't even be on here, there's no place to put it. Take Peace Park over here, please. Are you're co-doing this with me right now?
Yeah.
Take Peace Park over.
Yeah.
Thing now.
Phoenix Market.
Where's
Okay,
Phoenix
What is-
Market?
what
Phoenix
is-
Market.
but it's next to the post office. It used to be yesterday,
Oh, I
prior
can
to
do
that,
that.
it used
Oh,
to
I
be.
know, okay.
Oh, oh, there it is. Wait,
Oops, undo.
I've heard Phoenix Market has good food.
Phoenix Market is actually very good, and if you ever want to get totally ready all the time avocados, they're all about it. Like if you're ever like, I need an avocado. Perfect.
It's essentially a small grocery store.
It's a market, it's a market. Rosie General,
I can go there.
is that Emily?
Yeah, Emily.
Rough Draft,
That's what I know.
good. Savona's, Town of Ulster,
I can do, the Savonas get taken?
No.
Oh, that's the plaza, no.
Ship to Shore,
I
I'm
can
not.
do the plaza. Are you, that's all my neighborhood.
Who?
Savonas.
Savona. Okay, perfect.
I don't like posters.
No, but they definitely need to know that it's happening, so they definitely, you should definitely talk to them. So Savona's, you're saying not Town of Ulster, Savona's, downtown?
Downtown, yeah. And Ship to Shore. I was just gonna walk Field Street and
Perfect.
drop stuff.
Sissies, Melissa Sonder. Does that exist?
They let me do that last year, but
Who?
Sonder.
You wanna do it or no?
No, I'm just letting you know that you let me do it.
I've always wanted to go there. I mean, if I'm going to
Oh, can I
Kingston
do-
Standard, it's in the same, if you want me to do
Can I
something.
do Sunshine as well? They're next to Sonder. The Chinese. the
Okay,
Chinese
then why
restaurant.
don't you do Sonder?
I'll do
or
Sonder,
go to
because
Sunshine?
American Pizza is right next to
Yeah,
Sonder.
you just
so.
do that, strip them, that makes sense.
Melissa, can you add Sunshine on the bottom? It's Stadium Diner,
Can you do that?
Starbucks by Homey. Nobody?
Starbucks by where?
Home Depot. Okay, Home.
I could go there on Saturday when I do gymnastics. No. Sorry.
Stevie's on Voices Lane?
That would.
Anyone go there? No? You're going to Starbucks, you can also go to Stubby's on Voices Lane.
Okay.
Perfect. Stubby's on the Boulevard, Stubby's on Foxwell and Albany.
Wait, the Starbucks by Home Depot, that's one on Ulster Ave, right? That's what I'm thinking of.
The Starbucks, yes.
Yeah, okay.
Have you put these posters up at these places before?
Yes,
Okay.
but you always need to ask for permission because people could
Right,
have
exactly.
sour politics in their face. Foxwell and Albany Stubby's. Stewart's. What do you call it?
That's the Delaware Broadway one? I can do
No,
the Delaware
Foxwell and Albany by
Oh,
K
sorry,
Street.
that's where Broadway.
Stubby's at Hosbrook and Broadway, Stubby's in Hurley Avenue, Stubby's on in Rosendale. Stubby's in Lake Katrine. Stubby's in Bordeaux.
Also Lake Katrine.
We'll do Lake Katrine.
If you're going to Stewart's, it's good to have Christians with you.
Stockade
I'll do
Guitars,
that. Stone
Soup,
I can do that. Oh, sorry,
Taqueria Muy Poblito. Nobody,
I can do that.
okay. Little's Kitchen. Oh yeah.
No.
I can do that.
Sorry. I removed you from everything else.
Tommy's Deli. That's on Washington Avenue. Nobody. Trailways. Kevin probably goes to Trailways.
I can do Trailways.
I don't go to Trailways.
Oh.
I take the UCAT and the Poughkeepsie.
Okay. Two Ravens. I didn't even know that existed.
What is that?
What is that?
Uptown is a bar. I thought it closed.
That might be old.
I've never seen.
Oh, poster board, because basically there's a boarded up door and I posted, people post on the door.
Oh, you on the road?
I put one
That
on-
should just be Upton
Sometimes
Berries.
they just get covered
I
though.
will do Upton Berries. Which I,
Village Coffee. Harry, Village Grocery.
I can do coffee, I can do the grocery,
I'll
so
sit
there a lot.
I'm just gonna say.
West Hurley Library. Woodstock Day School. Nobody. Woodstock Library, nobody.
I'll do like the Surface Library, Rosendale Library, Pulse Library.
What about his
Yeah.
current school?
Heritage Library.
we'll also take some for the fair, yeah.
I was gonna say, on President Fair Cafe, but I put right next to the sign.
And then just do the church.
Yeah.
All right. If your name was listed, please take the number that your name is next to.
And like, no
Take them
pressure,
all, because if you
but-
don't,
Can
Phil's
you
gonna
share
be back in the paper
that,
next week.
with me, because I don't have that.
Yes.
I was just gonna say no pressure, but if possible, like this weekend, because we're like 2 weeks out from the fair.
So, no pressure,
Pressure
just
to be
do.
done, right?
Yeah.
No pressure, but.
Pressure is
Do it.
fine, yes, pressure is fine.
Pressure is reasonable. You're not gonna be able to get a birthday. I have my one spot.
That's one I work for.
Yeah. Exactly.
Jake, pump card and posters, right?
Yes. Can I send you the, I have like the job posting, you can top it through our social media.
Yeah.
What's your, what's your?
347,
What's your email?
361.
My last name SEBKA, and then at New School, you've got it, newschool.edu.
347.
361.
Do you teach there, is it an alumni email?
Excuse me?
Do you teach there, is it an alumni email?
I'm an emeritus professor there, oh, cool.
Nice.
All right, well done, peeps. Keep it going. Anything else on the Earth Fair we need to discuss, actually?
Oh, yes, we need volunteers,
Yes, we do.
so we need to know who from Climate Smart can be there day of. We're, like, we don't really have any volunteers at this point, from what I understand this morning, so.
On that point, I was just on the Kingston High School website and like there's a point of contact, like it seems like could just call the school and ask for the people who's in charge of the.
I'm going
I don't
to,
work for the city, so I don't know if it's appropriate for me to do it, but.
I'm going to push Brett because he
Okay.
volunteered to do that and he needs to be held accountable, so I will push him tomorrow.
Okay.
If in a week I have 0 volunteers, then I'm going to commandeer.
Okay, because also our babysitter is in the National Honor Society Kingston, so she could probably know who to contact it.
Okay,
So let me know if there's not a lot of momentum in the next week.
okay, great.
I'm happy to pick.
But we need everything from like running the welcome tables that have like water stations and information about the fair, to like parking, if we get enough volunteers, we would love like parking attendant volunteers, someone to run the Climate Smart table.
Is there a
otherwise-
volunteer sign up form?
It's right here in my hands. So I currently have, let's see, so the things we need, children's activities, children's games, a parking bouncer, vendor sign-in and placement, we've got that already. Zero waste station. Anthony, are you still doing that? The zero waste station at the Earth Fair?
Yeah.
Good. We need other zero waste station folks. We need someone to sit at the HQ for Climate Smart and / Climate Smart. We need some people to be at the Exchange store. And we need a lot of help with setup and breakdown.
I can help with setup and breakdown, but I do have a booth that some friends are organizing that I need to be at.
Anyone else know what their commitments may be?
I don't know if I'm on it, but I'm committed to being there for the day.
What
Uh,
time, all day?
yeah, I can do it all day.
Anyone else?
So put me wherever you need me. I have to run that.
Okay.
And see what.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okey-doke, let us know.
I might be able to, I just have to figure out, other commitments at the same time, but I would like to be there.
Same. I'll be there for some minutes, but we need to also figure out what we're doing.
Yeah, you're gonna need to get that one.
Okay. Great,
She did change.
perfect. Because whatever y'all want to volunteer for, Phil's got to count the pavement all day.
You took phone yourself like 9 times.
Last year you had all those students, is that gonna happen again?
Don't know. That all happened at roguely in like the 11th hour. That was a miraculous surprise.
Is it worth getting in touch with whoever that was again?
Yes, and the person who would volunteer to be the volunteer coordinator needs to be doing it.
Okay.
All right, last night conference on the environment, no new development since last month, so no update. Building decarbonization, I know that Phil has we'll briefly go over our benchmark. You not wanna wait till another time?
I mean, I could do it, but I did the same benchmarking reports for this past year. So the last time we looked at it was a few more years. It ended in 2023, now I got 2024. You can look through it if you want.
All right, let's do that.
Is it called Energy Benchmarking Report 2024 or Electricity Source Report edited?
So each one of them is the source report looking at how much renewable energy we're using and renewable electricity. And then the other one is the benchmarking the buildings over 1,000 square feet.
And by doing so, we are making it public, which is what we say we will be doing. So we're doing that. We're making it public. And it's also posted on the website.
You got exit.
So I think I showed you guys both of these. It's basically the same thing.
What? Did I just exit? What is happening? Screen share stop as the share window is closed. I don't know why. That is.
Oh, there we go.
Okay.
Okay, so this is the benchmarking report. This is the one where we look at buildings over 1,000 square feet and track the energy used through electricity and natural gas for the calendar year. The buildings are unchanged, so we can sort of we can just fly through this one.
One.
This is just graphs, the 3 years, and emerging neighborhoods, and circles represent the solar energy that's produced there.
Oh, why not?
Dash. Yeah, it looks like maybe it was sunnier. The dashed lines are natural gas use, and then the bars are electricity use.
Did we look at this last time?
Yes.
This is the
Yeah.
updated.
This is
So
the-
this is this year's
We've
one.
now looked at 22.
So with all these graphs, I just show the 3 years so that if there are trends, we can spot them, right?
Whoa, December, City Hall.
Yeah, they really used a lot of electricity in December of 2020.
That's probably space heaters.
Yeah. Yeah, so these,
Might wanna look at-
the individual ones are not super exciting. I mean, they're little things, like, for example, one of the outstanding questions for me right now is why in 2024 did DPW building Wilbur Avenue use so much electricity?
Like magnitudes of electricity.
Yeah, like something,
Starting in September.
Yeah, it was the
starts to
whole
tick
winter.
up, and then it goes
Yeah.
into the next year.
so something changed that winter. I've asked them
Well-
what's going
Oh,
on.
yeah.
I haven't heard back from them yet.
Weird.
And it's not like they stopped using natural gas, so it's
Did
not.
they add EVs? Are they charging?
Or something
Cars?
went wrong with.
They're not using it. And Wilbur Ave, the building is like a little itty bitty little check-in building where they like clock in the morning. and have lunch.
If it's really small,
Which- if
then
it's
a
really
small
small,
change
it's
would
just-
look really big.
Yeah, yeah, so we'll get to the bottom of that. The bus wash is pretty wild because the amount of electricity that's used there is less than the electricity used for a single light bulb.
Wow.
Each day per year, so something's going on. Bus wash, I don't even know what the electricity is being used for, honestly, but go out from there. These are, yeah, it's just. There's not much with all this stuff, but it's good to keep an eye on it, right? Because it's,
July.
when big changes happen,
Whoa,
we'll be able to spot them. So like, for example, this
Oh.
one, we see when all of Parks and Rec and Live Well Kingston moved down there last summer.
right.
So we started using a lot of electricity for.
Right, it starts in like.
And you make a
August.
note of that in the plan?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, great. Oh, very consistent there.
yeah, that's a nice one.
Police station, nice and clean.
They use a lot of electricity.
Consistently.
At least it's
for a lot.
consistent.
So that's a really, I think we saw that last time, but that one's a really, you see the really clear, like, something happened with the furnace. And
Right, the
this is
gas
easy.
turned off and they were using
Yeah.
space heaters, that's funny.
Yeah, data. Lots of data. And then, yeah, wastewater treatment plant, this is the real behemoth in terms of electricity use for the city.
There's been discussion in the past of like using renewable electricity for some of that, right? The wastewater treatment plant.
Yeah, well, we talked a little internally about having, like, trying to harness some of the energy that comes from burning the off-gassing gases.
We have looked at solar, also we've gotten an estimate for solar there.
So this is, we're still editing right now.
Oh.
So those questions are not, they're not rhetorical questions, they're questions that I put in here, so I want answers. So then now we're just adding it all up. And you see, I mean, basically what you see is the electricity use is pretty consistent throughout the year with little bumps in the winter and in the summer. And then natural gas, because it's used almost exclusively for heating, it sort of goes away in terms of the energy that's being used to burning it in the summer. And then we've got a little hierarchy of electric and natural gas use. So electric is the light gray bars and the natural gas is the black. A hierarchy of increasing use going from left to right. And you see the wastewater treatment plant is like miles above everything else, but then the Midtown Neighborhood Center, which if you've been in there, you would understand why is second to that. And as you can tell, like as you see here, it's like all through natural gas.
Yeah.
And it's because it's a giant chamber,
Yeah.
like a giant empty room. So
Right.
with like holes in the wall and stuff. So to keep it heated, we're burning a lot of natural gas.
Right, all the heat goes in.
Yeah. And then this is another one where we're just comparing them all, and it's sort of, I mean, in a number of the cases, there's really not any change from 2023 to 2024. Little drop from 2022, and I think if I go down at the recommendation of, I think it was Beta recommended looking at heating degree days. So these are just plotted, this is like, you gotta look at it a little bit, but like heating degrees days versus the amount of natural gas use. So of course it's sort of like a linear trend because we're burning the natural gas to heat the buildings. But you can also see 2022 has that 1 month that's super cold. And then these 2 months that are also quite cold. So I think that's probably why in the previous graphs, we saw that 2022 had slightly more energy use.
Right, colder winter.
The other ones, but yeah.
I think it was like a nationwide.
Yeah.
Not like nationwide,
Yeah.
but like statewide.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and I threw this one in. I just took the conversions that New York City uses for their benchmarking of buildings, and popped that in to see what we're talking about in terms of the tons of CO2 equivalent that are being emitted from the energy that we're using in our buildings. And it's sort of some interesting, all right, so this is actually somewhat interesting because you would think the Andy Murphy Neighborhood Center, remember how like the energy use was almost exclusively from burning natural gas? I would have thought that would mean that its greenhouse gas emissions would be much bigger, but it's still sort of sitting at like half that of the wastewater treatment plant where almost all of its energy is being consumed through electricity. So to me I guess the way I read that is our electricity is pretty dirty.
Yeah, the central Hudson mix around here is mostly gas.
Yeah.
So it's
Okay,
pretty.
there we go. Yeah, exactly. So it's basically the same.
Since Indian Point shut down.
Right. Okay, and then this is just keeping the data going so we can see the trends through time, the big changes from 2019 on, which I think is when the buildings got LED lights. I'm pretty sure, right?
Like 20, yeah.
Yeah.
But we're not seeing substantial savings over time.
Like money savings or?
Or energy savings, I guess.
Well,
if
this was the change, that's
Oh, that is, that.
yeah, that's significant. This, I feel like we're sort of in the realm of things just bouncing around some kind of median, but that seems like a more legit change. And then trying to keep track of what changes have happened. I don't know if any that happened last year. And then appendix with all the information. So that's one of them. And the other one is much shorter. the other report. And once we get these finalized, we'll just throw them up on the website, so if you want to, you can really take the. It might just be City sharing the file itself. Thanks for letting this happen. Okay, so this one is the Moore report, which is looking at where we get our electricity from. So this first graph right here is showing all of the municipal electricity accounts, which I think there are 130 of them, and proportionally how much electricity they're consuming. So what you can see from this is more than a quarter from the wastewater treatment plant, and then it's really just 3 accounts that are accounting for more than half of all the electricity that the city uses. Then just describing the different ways we buy our electricity and separating them out. So we've got 2 accounts that are linked to municipal solar generation. We've got 35 accounts that are buying exclusively renewable energy credits. So they're on paper, they're consuming renewable energy. Then we have 65 that are a combination of renewable energy credit certificates. Is that what they're? Not credit certificates. And community solar, which I guess my understanding is that community solar, you don't get to claim that you're actually using the renewable electricity, unlike renewable energy credits. 10 accounts that just have community solar and are just actually using grid electricity, and 18 that are using just grid electricity.
Yeah, on the previous graphs where you were calculating the greenhouse gas emissions of each building, did that use a number, like a set number for how much greenhouse gas is associated with electricity across the board, or were you taking into account that some of the electricity is offset by our recs and whatever?
I did not take into account the recs.
So probably that would change it, not that you should have to do that, but that would be interesting.
I'm still, and this is actually something where I feel like a lot of you guys who are maybe more involved in the industry would have a better perspective. I'm still like a little unclear on how to interpret recs. Like I know that that they're, yeah.
That's very reasonable. They're kind of a cupcake, like where it's
exactly. Yeah, because in my mind, it's like, well, probably that little town that's down by the wind farm in Texas or whatever is also saying that they're using renewable electricity because they're right next to a wind farm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
If they don't own the reps, then they can't say it.
they can't say it.
No, you have to own the renewable energy credits in order to be able to, or certificates in order to be able to say.
So maybe I'll go back and change that. It feels misleading, but I'll change that figure to account for this because all of those buildings are purchasing recs. So if we did that, then it would only be the natural gas that's.
You could duplicate a graph if you wanted to be like, here's what it is if we assume grid power, here's what it is if we take into account the recs. Because it is giving you 2 different pieces of information, like the gas is being burned in this vicinity to power the buildings. It's being offset by wind that's being made somewhere else.
Yeah.
So the local impact remains.
Yeah, I like that. I'll do that.
So you could look at them side by side.
Yeah, maybe I'll just put them on the same graph.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
Yeah. And then these are just like splitting out the affiliations for each account, which is basically just the numbers that I was listing up above.
Yeah.
And then the kilowatt hours. So because each account is using different amounts of electricity. So what we see is more than more than 75%. So I guess what are we? We're at like 84% is covered by renewable energy certificates of our electricity, like our municipal electricity that we consume. And then when we take into account the mix on the grid and stuff like that, right now we're at whatever it is, 85% of our electricity is coming from renewable energy. Cool. It's good. We're getting there. The goal is 100%.
Amazing.
85 is really good.
Yeah.
Thanks, all.
Great, yeah.
From a business finance perspective, would issues. We have met most of my days. How much money does that save the city of Kingston?
Compared.
So in that report right there, I list like the different, because with the Rex, we're purchasing, like in purchasing the Rex, we're also purchasing electricity, and it has a certain like kilowatt hour price. And it fluctuates depending on the contract. It's always seemingly like a few cents more than if we were to just buy it from Central Hudson. So we're not saving money. But with the community solar, we're getting a discount.
Right.
So I'll look into that actually
Yeah, that's
and figure it all out if we're saving money or spending money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's your touch. All right, breezing through the rest of these, we met, Thermal Energy Network, we met with the city's bond council today to talk about financing options and learn about what we can and can't do, so we're moving along with our due diligence. Municipal solar operations, installations, I have nothing to report, although it is disheartening to know that perhaps my solar company is
Nothing official.
nothing official, so we'll wait and see, but nothing new to report. Battery storage, I have nothing to report. Stop me if you have something to report, by the way. CCA and community solar, I have nothing new to report. Solar setting report, I have nothing new to report because I haven't been able to work on it, I just haven't had enough time. City fleet transition, Bill, I don't know if you have anything to report on the fleet. Actually, anything with renewable diesel.
I've just been like sending emails to everyone for news and renewable diesel providing information. So we'll see where we go with that.
EV infrastructure, I will say that we have gotten permission to move one of our installs that was supposed to go down at Garrigan Drive. It's now going to be going at the stadium. So we will be putting it there this season. And Phil and I had a meeting the other day with Volt Post, which are people that fix EV charging stations to light posts on the street side.
Hmm.
And then, so if you've ever been to, where did you guys see them? Did you see them?
So we had seen like in Montreal.
Oh, yeah, Montreal.
separately.
Yeah, separately. I saw them in Montreal, I saw them in Montreal. So we're still trying to figure it out, but the value of this is that NYSERDA is funding them to put them in 10 to 12 communities for free to us. And they pay for the electricity, which is literally free to us. So we might test this out.
What's the company called?
Volt Post, VOLTPOST.
Cool.
Volt Post. Clean mobility, I don't have any updates unless you know more, Phil, about what's going on with that.
They have said that they want to have a table at the Earth Fair.
Okay.
Hopefully they'll be at the Earth Fair.
Community Preservation Fund is now up to $38,389.14. And this just in, every year, the average median sales price of homes is changed, and it's changed on April 6th. And this year, it has gone up in Ulster County, $50,000. The median sales price is now $425,000. Median.
It's a tragedy.
That is a
It's
tragedy.
Unless you own a house.
So then, Kingston Organics still kicking along, 569 families, 1,143 people, we just passed 60 tons of food diverted. I don't have any updates on the food systems policy. Maybe Anthony, do you know anything about the food systems policy? Any updates on that? Have you been following that?
No, well, yeah, but I mean, it's still forthcoming.
Forthcoming, all right. Paint recycling event is ready to go. I have all the volunteers that I need. I do need people to help push it and promote it. It is gonna be on the 31st. People can register. And it's super exciting, and it's gonna be at the plaza, so if you have volunteered to help to play along that day, make sure that you have registered to do so. Anthony, did you register
Registered
to be because the three of you did? Did
Yeah,
you go on
We have
with
to
it?
fill out a
Just
thing.
fill out the
Oh,
thing.
no, I
Yeah.
didn't. I'll do that.
Didn't?
Yep.
Okay.
No,
Did you?
makes the.
Anthony, did you?
Yep.
Great.
Wait, did I what?
Did you fill out that online form thing to work at the?
Yes.
Great.
Yeah, I did not.
Do you still need extra people?
No.
But you said people can just, they pay people off the street that day.
Yes, but I already had to commit the people.
Oh, man.
Yes. You had a chance, you had the same chance that all these people had.
That's fair.
All right, so Kingston Point Park improvements, I am having a public meeting on the 29th at 5 PM. If you want to come and learn about the proposed plans for elevating the parking lot and making a mega wetland down at Kingston Point instead of a parking lot. So hopefully people will come and learn about that if you don't already. Yes?
What, did you hear back about the pavement and whether it can stay or whether you have to pull it out?
Yes, it can stay,
Yes.
right?
I'm so interested in what's gonna happen.
Me too.
Like, how does it affect the frogs?
Me too. Me too, and I think that
Boys.
Yeah.
Gross.
certainly
Disruption.
over time, one of the very simple things we're gonna do is there's gonna be a, interpretive sign like at the berm that looks over it, and we're just gonna put one, like a little, those little holder things where you put your phone in,
Yeah.
take a picture and send it to the
Oh, that's a
QR
great
code.
idea.
So we'll see like pictures over time,
Cool.
but I do wanna connect with, actually, that's a good idea, if I could connect with like Bard or somebody to do studies of the water quality, like of the species.
Is it different?
They have like a whole like water lab.
Yeah.
Yeah. Probably be excited.
Yeah. And I see the Kingston is doing some long-term, urban cities biodiversity work, so maybe I'll work with that one.
Carrot Center too, maybe.
Kingston Point Beach, New York Swims, no update on that, that's the beach terracing, no update. Raves, I have no update on that, I don't have any update on flood response. Oh, actually, I had gotten funding to put in a stream gauge on the Rondo at the Maritime Museum.
Right.
USGS stream gauge, US stream
No,
gauge.
right.
We're good. I asked them today and they said they're still doing it. So it was funded by USGS and they said they're committed to doing it for us. So we didn't lose that. And I have no update on the North Street demos. There's no new business?
I'm sorry, I don't remember, I thought last meeting you gave an update about the Andrietta pool moving forward with solar.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
I have
That's
gotten all
on
the,
top, totally.
I have gotten all the approvals that I need.
Okay.
I have not been given a timeline.
Gotcha.
The timeline was last July,
Okay.
so,
Ah, it's all coming together.
yep, you're still done. That's on the company. That's on the firm.
Okay.
So, are there any announcements, communications, events, or updates that people would like to share? Oh, shoot. Sorry, I have two communications that came from people that we will pass around. One is the Permanently Affordable Social Housing for New Yorkers Act.
Whoa, is this the one Sarah Osborne?
Yes, this is coming from Assemblymember Sarah Hana Shrestha and State Senator Michelle Hinchy. This is not, they're not the ones who communicated it to me. Folks from House the Future communicated to me. This is a bill that would create the Social Housing Development Authority, which would build housing throughout New York State. That is being proclaimed to be permanently and deeply affordable, cross-subsidized, green, union-built, flexible, democratically run, and economically efficient. Our Common Council has passed a resolution in support of this. And these folks wanted me to have Climate Smart be aware of it. And if Climate Smart wanted to take an action to either support the council's action or promote it or do nothing or whatever the council wants to do, be opposed. I just wanted to make folks aware of it.
What's the call to action, just like right?
Call to action could be communicate with your senator or assembly person to show your support. It could be I don't know when the council voted, let's see, if they passed it in April, it would be on the May common council, so you could speak to it. We could put it, Climate Smart could promote it on the Facebook page.
So we allowed to do that? Maybe just good to know about.
Maybe it's good to know about.
Because I mean, they're talking like sustainable construction and all that, but I don't know if we're allowed to.
We're not asking people to take action in the post necessarily, it's educating.
Whatever the decision is should be collective.
It looks like it's just informative.
Yeah, there's no call to action in this document.
I mean, we have supported some policy things in the past, but I don't know how much we've gotten into legislation.
Typically CAC would do something like that, but the timing doesn't work out. Well, I guess I could bring it to CAC also, but, it is a fine line between housing and, well,
But it says green energy
I don't know.
efficient and real ecological sustainable techniques.
Right, but they don't
Which is why-
define it anywhere.
Well, there's sustainable construction on page 2.
Yeah, which again, it doesn't define. Probably because according to, it's still a 4-page thing, but I'd be interested to know what they mean when they say sustainable.
Cool, all right,
Good to
well,
know that.
informational then?
I think so.
Okay. The other piece of information that came before me is also legislative in nature. And that is the Packaging Reduction and Recycling Infrastructure Act. The new bills are out for the EPR. And this is a suggested piece of legislation.
We did support this in the past, right?
And the last thing that I was aware of is that we said, let's wait till the new round comes out.
Yeah.
I don't have copies of the new round, so this is probably actually not that informative. Unless anyone else knows more specifically about what the new bills state. Is anyone up on that?
I
No.
know there's like a lobby, anti-plastic lobbying day we included in our newsletter that went out yesterday, week after next. That I think is pushing for this.
Okay, so I can either bring up more information, or you can just be aware that the bills are out, or.
When they sent it to you, did they say a deadline of any sort?
No.
This is sort of like, this looks like it's in support. Are they, were they asking for Climate Smart to issue some kind of letter in support, or ask the city to put out a letter of support or something?
Those are options.
I'm in favor of that.
Pretty straightforward, yeah.
And when you say in favor of that, that is what to.
Us writing a letter that we submit to, I don't know, with the common council or mayor or.
Those are both options.
They were asking though to submit a letter to them.
To them.
Who emailed you?
By the name of, I think it's Marie Miller, maybe?
Was it from like Beyond Plastics or like what, did they have a deleted?
All right. Marie Miller, she is from. So she said she was also gonna follow up with one of the older people. But to give me a heads up in case we aren't already aware that Priya is up for discussion again in the New York State Senate and Assembly, I've attached an updated version of the resolution if you would like to bring it up with Climate Smart. I believe the Common Council ended up writing a letter of support rather than passing a resolution last year. Hopefully, there's more time to pass the resolution this time around.
So we should that should focus.
So it would be us asking Common Council to write a letter, or to pass a
So that's a
resolution.
resolution.
If we were going to do something.
This is a person who is a member of CCAPP, Citizens Concerned About Pollution.
Oh.
Plastic pollution.
So then, when is the next common council meeting?
What are you asking specifically that will inform how I answer that question?
Well, if we want to ask for a resolution, will we have time? Because the legislative session for the budget got delayed, but the legislative session only goes till June.
So then to
They
go
need a month.
through the process, I would need to submit a communication to council by May 2, 3, 4. May 1, 2, May 2nd. And it would then go on laws and rules in May, and then it would be voted on by the council in June.
When in June? Like end of June? Because the legislative.
Second Tuesday in June, which is the,
The session.
The session will be
oh
over.
no, it'll be June 3rd.
Session will be over by June 3rd?
Oh, no, it'll be over like 5.
We could do that, I'm just throwing it out there. We would have time before the session's over.
So it's really tight. So
Yes, it's a tight deadline that we would have to do it immediately.
What would that entail? We would have to write a resolution and then submit it to the common council for them to pass?
This would be the resolution.
Oh,
We just insert our information and then submit it to the common council to adopt.
man, that's an action, then that's trivial. What else? Right?
Does that mean one of us
Where's
would
the
have to
vote?
go over the next meeting, to talk about it?
Yes, or ask me to.
Are you already planning on going?
No.
Okay. When is that meeting? In June? May?
So May, was it? Oh, no, May 2nd is when it needs to be,
Proposed.
submitted by. That's a communication that I would need to submit, which is fine. I submit communications all the time. Actually, so it's possible I may already be on the agenda to go, but let's see. May 21st. Let me see if I'm planning on already going. I am not going, and I will be out of town. I will not be able to go either. So if we do submit it, somebody needs to volunteer to go on the May 21st meeting to speak to it. Or it just gets submitted and I say, this is self-explanatory, no one will be there to speak to it. Which is also,
I mean, what does speaking to mean? We say, we submitted this and we think it's a good idea? Read it?
yes,
Yeah, okay, do that. May 21st at what, 5 p.m.?
if the council, 6:30, if the council votes to take this action.
I
Yes.
propose to take this action, to go to the common council meeting with Jake as a representative, and Julie beforehand, bring it up to them on May 2nd.
Okay, there's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
I need more information about exactly how this is gonna work and what I have to do.
I will do that. Is there any modifications to this that you want me to make besides insert the word Kingston here?
Yes.
Just find the, bill that the anti-plastic people are,
1464.
that's what you're talking about, the plastic one? So the one that they, yeah, the Packaging Reduction and Recycling Infrastructure Act.
Yes.
It looks
They're
good.
having a lobby day on May 7th.
So this resolution is about supporting that bill.
Right.
And the assembly version of the same.
It doesn't look like it needs any. Unless there's something in the Kingston climate plan that has to do with plastics, in which case we could say, whereas this supports Kingston's specific goal of X, Y, Z, that's the only thing I think that we would have, but I don't know that we have a goal in our plastics. I don't believe that we do. If we did, that would be the thing too. But if we don't, then I think it's fine.
Well, Yeah, I mean, I don't know how resolutions work, but we supported the Tiffin project, which is not more like a different thing, but we could say, well, the thing is also, it's being passed by common council, not by common Kingston, so.
But if the city of Kingston had goals around plastic pollution, then that would be the thing to include. I don't believe that there are city level plastic goals, but I think it's fine to see that as written.
Okay. Does the person who moved agree with that suggestion?
Yeah.
And the seconder?
Yes.
Are there any other discussion? All in favor? Yes? Is that a yes, Anthony?
Yes.
Very good. Who made the first on that? Jake, you made the second? And
That's
I
it.
think
Melissa moved.
Melissa made the, okay, because you're way down at the end from where I can see. I couldn't hear. Okay, Melissa and Jake. And Jake, you're gonna attend the meeting?
That's right.
Okay, so there's no letter involved here.
Not just by communication to council.
Just communication to council and Jake will be there. Okay, got it.
Okay, no one's opposed or abstaining? Are there any other communications, events, or updates?
Communities for Local Power has opened the application for their Empower Kingston program, where they train folks on clean energy jobs, and their July program is July 7th through August 1st. It's 4 weeks, and so they're looking for people to participate in that. You get paid $18 an hour. OSHA safety training is provided, and basic tools and work boots as well. So no training is, what?
It's an extremely good deal.
Yeah, it really is. And no direct building experience is required. It's just enthusiastic people willing to learn and show up. So we'll put that on our Facebook and tell anybody to know about it.
Cool.
Anything from Ulster County Climate Smart Committee?
No,
No, like take it off the agenda?
TBD.
Okay. Any other events, updates? Anything else, or what do we want? Do we know what we want to post on social media?
Well, I need to talk to
Okay.
you guys about social media because I have failed you and I don't see myself recovering. So I think I need to step away from that responsibility. I didn't do anything, so this should not be bad. It was ish. But despite my efforts to build it into my action plans for the week, it just always keeps getting moved and I don't want to keep letting you guys down. So, sorry.
Thanks for trying.
Yeah.
I'm willing to share it with someone. I just cannot do it myself.
It's a lot.
Should we enter?
It's so much. Yeah.
This is.
Well, it's a login. I can give you the login info for the, well, no, never mind. You have to have a Facebook. I forgot.
Okay.
You're right.
I was on Facebook.
I have a fake Facebook. Me too, that's what I use.
Facebook.
Okay. But basically, the city has to just approve you as an admin, and then I have a bunch of information. I went over with
Bye,
Kaya.
everyone.
I can,
Bye.
if you're
See you on
interested,
Saturday.
but you're already doing the website, so I don't, yeah. But if you're interested.
Let me think about it, and I'll think about it and decide next time.
Okay, I can do it in interim month.
Okay.
But we have the power program, the earth care, the paint drive. I sent high up the list from last month. I'll just be off of that too.
We've got a repair cafe event, but I guess a sharing blast
Yes.
would be.
Extra volunteers for the Earth Fair.
What I've got volunteer.
We have a blast going out for it.
Do we?
I don't know, remember last year was something like a blast.
All right. Have you guys been sending out?
Well, we have that list in the mail chip that we did last year.
Yeah.
Mail chip. We should do that. And if there's any like new people, we should add to it. We could add all the people who signed the bike share petition last year.
Who has that information?
Okay, but as far as the Climate Smart Kingston list, or how do people sign up to the email?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so can you get us that list?
Oh, you're sending out less.
Well, that happened last year.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Who am I sending to? Both of you?
And then we would need you to like approve, we'll draft it up and have you approve it. Oh, and any information about the exchange store also, because I don't know what's going on with that. Are we I didn't remember if we're collecting more things.
All right, in case of that.
Yeah.
I remember translating the exchange store. That's not on the flyer. Is it?
Yeah, I think we said we would like, promote it separately
Yeah.
because it gets lost on the flyer, and so I think we're supposed to have a bigger initiative to just advertise it separately.
Okay. Anything else?
Nope.
Do we have quorum for the May 28th meeting? Is there anyone who knows that they cannot make the May 28th meeting? Kevin and Anthony, are you good for May 28th?
Yeah, I should be there.
Yeah, sure. Wait, what?
May 28th, Anthony.
The next climate smart meeting?
Yeah, May 28th.
Wow. Yeah, sure. Probably, hopefully.
I can make it.
Great. All right. Is there any other business? Not, I will entertain a motion to adjourn. Cal, seconded by Jake. All in favor? All right. 7:31. Thank you, everyone.
Folks.